I'm joined now by two people who have been following this case very closely. Dr. Kris Mohandie is a clinical police and forensic psychologist with more than 25 years' experience assessing and managing violent behavior. Pascal Beauboeuf hosts the very popular online show, The Pascal Show, which covers true crime. Had a chance to chat with Pascal at CrimeCon last week. Thank you to both of you. So appreciate you being here. Dr. Mohandie, I'm going to start with you. You saw what we all saw this week. It's a lot of reading. I'm sure it's right up your alley with the work you do. But is this typical of a serial killer to keep track, meticulous track of what to do, what's done, and what to do better, next time to improve?
Yeah, there are different types of serial killers. Obviously, there are the ones that even the suspect in this refers to as organized versus disorganized. And, most of them are the organized type, the predator, narcissistic psychopaths who are sadistic in nature, and they're killing for power and dominance over others and to fulfill, various perversions. So, these folks see themselves as hunters. They go to, painful lengths to research what they're going to do to avoid getting caught. So the idea of having journals, operational plans, research, all that is part of the rush that they get. As far as the planning is part of the turn on for them, the stimulation, the build up, if you will. But it also fulfills, in addition to that thrill aspect of it, it's purposeful. It's they see themselves as hunters. They see themselves, going out, and getting, quarry, prey. They're not looking at their victims as the people that they are, inherently, part of humanity, but they see themselves as entitled to take life and to do so with efficiency and to avoid getting caught. So this is all pretty typical stuff that you would be looking for with a suspect like this. It's not surprising. I've seen plenty of these kinds of, kill and, rape planning lists before, and invariably an arrogant guy like this alleged suspect, they think they're so smart, yet it's their sense of, I'm so smart, I'm going to beat you guys by playing all these things, researching all this stuff that is
the superiority complex, right? It always comes back to bite them. The superiority complex. They all think they're smarter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, they do.
It's their undoing.
Speaking of the details, yeah, they undo themselves with their own ego. Pascal, you have been covering this, and as a journalist, you and I, we wait with bated breath for details, and usually we have to wait till trial, right? We don't usually get this kind of I hate to call it a windfall, but this is a windfall of details that I was not expecting with these two additional charges. First of all, were you surprised? And second of all, what stood out to you?
Well, I mean, honestly, it was a yes and no. It's kind of a yes and no answer. Yes, because the details in there are just so deeply disturbing and so horrific. I just can't believe anybody wrote these things on paper. I feel like we were tearing a page out of a American Psycho or taking a scene out of Dexter almost. It just seems so odd and so out of pocket. But then on top of that, there's the no because of just the kind of person we're dealing with. I mean, this is an architect. This is somebody who's very meticulous, very on point with plans, this blueprint that we're talking about in this document. It definitely works with the kind of person that we're dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, and I have to keep reminding myself this is all, allegations at this point. It's hard to see how he's going to dig out from underneath the massive mountain of allegations that look pretty cut and dry. But Dr. Mohandie, it is hard not to notice how childish this supposedly well-educated architect is. He can't spell for a dime. And it's embarrassing. I mean, it's heavy, H-E-V-E-Y. I don't mean to cast, mild aspersions, but it just doesn't make sense that someone who is university educated has these kinds of mistakes. Is there something you see I'm not seeing?
No, I mean, obviously one hypothesis is this misdirection on purpose, but to repeatedly misspell words the same way as you've seen in several of the documents, that would be a lot more effort than I think he would be willing to go to an individual like this. I just simply think the individual who did this is simply a bad speller. It's not inconceivable and not inconsistent with some highly educated people that they have specific strengths and weaknesses.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.